Dean, that's quite a challenge this week, Johnny.
That is really challenging.
Yeah, we're going to write about the greatest person alive for Johnny. Who are you going to write about?
I know.
Who?
I am going to write about the greatest person ever.
Okay, who's this?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I mean, what better person can get someone who sprays webs, flies through the air, rescues people and...
No, Dean. Spider-Man's just fictional. Everybody knows that. He's just in movies and in cartoons. He's not real, is he? Johnny wants us to write about the greatest person alive, a real person. You know who that is. Dean. Jesus is the greatest person alive, isn't he? Of course he is. That's who I'm going to write about.
Okay. But you do know, don't you, Beck, that some people think that Jesus is just a fairy tale?
Wow, they do, and that's really sad, isn't it? But yeah, well, I'll have to have a think about how we're going to write this.
Okay, come on then, let's go and have a think.
Okay. Dean, what's the matter?
I'm thinking, Beck.
We need to be writing our story for Johnny, come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking about what we said earlier, about fairy stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been thinking about Jesus' life.
Yeah.
So, let's go through it, right? He was born in a stable.
Yeah, not very luxurious.
Yeah, smelly, horrible, on a feeding trough.
Yeah.
Full of hay.
Not where you expect a king to be born.
No. And then when he was growing up, he was okay at first in that people liked him, but then the more he sort of got himself around, the more people disliked him. And in the end, people hated him.
People wanted to kill him.
Yeah. And then when they eventually arrested him and took him in, then there was only his disciples, the 12, who actually stuck by him. And then the soldiers, they got him and they beat him and they spat on him and then they whipped him. And the people were actually rejoicing that all this was going on. And then they stuck him on a cross and they crucified him.
It's not exactly a Shrek or Cinderella story, is it?
No, it is not, Becky.
No. We need to think about this a little bit more, don't we?
We do, don't we?
Where's Dee? He's taking ages. There's the dryer. Come on, got a story to write. Finally! Come on. Got a story to write. Come on, we need to go.
But Beck, you know, when I was in there, I was just having a think like you do.
I wondered what you were doing in there.
But I was thinking.
Dangerous.
I was thinking about Jesus and the fairy story and people who follow Jesus. Okay, so a lot of people who follow Jesus sacrifice their lives for him, don't they? They give up everything and sell things and they travel everywhere. And
I wouldn't do that for Spider-Man or Iron Man or Batman because they're not real.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't sacrifice yourself for a superficial hero, would
That's right. You have to really believe something and know it's real and true and there. But some people have given the ultimate, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, people have even died because they won't say that Jesus isn't real.
Wow, yeah, true.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, people only would die for somebody if they know it's real and it's true and they believe it.
Wow, Jesus is definitely real, isn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely. Come on, we need to go and write this story.
So, coffee, Beck?
Is that all we got?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, coffee then. Yeah,
all right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, lovely. So I was thinking about what we've been saying about how we've got to write about Jesus and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the calendar.
The calendar?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with Jesus?
A lot to do with
Jesus. What?
Yeah.
The 28th of August, the 15th of August, the 27th of September. What's that got to do with Jesus?
I'll tell you, listen, so if you think of a calendar or like timelines, and we always use BC, before Christ, and AD, after death, don't we? and that's after Jesus' death and before Christ. And everybody around the world, all calendars use that.
So everything in time is based around Jesus' death.
Absolutely, yeah. Everyone uses those calendars, whether they're a Christian or not.
Yeah.
So it's got to be true.
I never thought about that.
Here's a thought for you, see?
Wow. Come on then, let's go and write this down.
Okay.
Come on.
So have you handed your essay in to Johnny?
Yeah. What about you? You handed yours in?
Of course I've handed it in. Yes, I've handed it in. Yeah.
Wow. And so how did you finish your essay then, Becky?
So I ended my essay talking about how I've met with Jesus personally.
Really?
Yeah. That was my evidence, yeah.
That's exactly how I finished mine.
See, great minds think alike.
So how did you meet Jesus then?
So for me, I was brought up in a Christian home.
Right,
So
okay.
obviously heard about Jesus, learned about Jesus. But for me, my moment when I met with Jesus myself was after I'd completed an Alpha course.
Really?
And actually on my drive home, I felt that was my moment when I really met with Jesus. And actually, he showed himself through the sunshine to me. These great big beams of sunshine came down, and I knew that was Jesus.
Wow. So that's a bit like Paul, isn't it, in the Bible? And the sun hit him and the blinding flash of light. Like this. I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you though? How did you end yours then?
Well, mine's totally the opposite to you. So I didn't go to church at all. There's no Christians in my family, and then I ended up dating a Christian girlfriend. I eventually married her in the end. But yeah, so I went out with her. I went to church because I wanted to see her for a bit longer. So I just went to church. But week after week after week, the message about Jesus really started to get into my heart. And then after a few years, it was. Somebody said to me, you really have to make a decision to follow Jesus or not. You're just sitting on the fence here. What are you going to do? And in the end, I thought, you know what? I know that Jesus is real. I'm just a bit scared of jumping and following him. And they said, come on, let's do this together. And so I made the decision to follow Jesus and never look back.
Wow, that's so nice. So we've both today, in trying to write this essay, discovered loads of different ways that show that Jesus is real. Jesus is the greatest person alive. There's so much evidence out there, isn't there?
Absolutely. And even once I read that there's more written evidence, 3 times as much written evidence to say that Jesus was alive than there was to say that Napoleon was alive.
Wow, we learn about Napoleon in schools, don't we?
Absolutely,
Part of history, so.
yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And you know what? Even the Bible says that Jesus was alive.
Ooh, have you got a verse?
I certainly have.
I thought you would have. Come on then.
Okay. It says in John 1:14, the Word became a human being and, full of grace and truth, lived among us. We saw his glory, the glory which he received as the Father's only Son. And Beck, we have seen the glory of God.
Absolutely, yeah. In the everyday, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for our children now to go and explore all this for themselves, isn't it? As part of what they do today and in their homes, like ask the questions. People that they know have experienced Jesus, ask what they experienced. Read the Bible. There's so much in the Bible. Look for evidence in your schools, and it's go and explore and find out what you've unpick the evidence yourselves.
Yeah. So let's discover this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
should we go and discover a bit more?
Yeah, I think we will.
Okay.
Come on, let's do that.
See you all next week.
See you all. Bye.
Bye.